Right, so Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5. This is by far the slowest episode so far, and excuse the lack of, cohesion anywhere. As I've made very clear in other videos, I am currently in the middle of moving, have suitcases there, boxes everywhere, there's a TV up there for some reason. I don't even know where that's come from. I can't use it. Can't plug a PS5 in that. But anyways, Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 5. The slowest episode so far. We get more. This is like an hour of character building and character moments. We get Sam and Bucky finally becoming like friends outside of them like having this weird kind of mutual respect for each other. Now they're like pretty much buddy, and we get the least amount of the villain, Carly Morgenthau, and she's actually a villain now. She's teaming up with Batroc. And Batroc's actually going to be a big part of this. And he's like, I just want to kill Falcon. That's all I care about. And they're like, yeah, you'll get to do that. And the rest of this is what you get as well. And they're like, their big thing is they're going to attack a UN thing. Because why not? But yeah, this episode is basically just Sam, after the events of what happened at the end of the last episode with Captain America, John Walker, basically killing someone in cold blood on camera in broad daylight. Like, he gets the shield taken away from him, Falcon gets it back, and he's like, right, I'm gonna be Captain America now, I'm gonna go against all of my other sensibilities. I'm going to basically do this heel turn character moment after he talks to Isaiah Bradley, who, was the previous, who was the guy that they spoke to in episode 2, who was basically the Black Captain America. Before this, he was a black guy that had the super soldier serum that was experimented on and basically sent to jail because you can't have a black Captain America, especially not in the 1960s, because of the way the world was back then. And his kind of thing is like, the world or America won't let there be a black Captain America, and even if they would, no self-respecting black man would want to be Captain America. And Sam is kind of going on a mission to. His whole thing is like, I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to prove him that I can be Captain America, but I can be the Captain America of today that represents modern America, if that makes sense. Bucky, after the episode start, I should have really said that this is all really all over the place. The episode starts with a fight against John Walker, and he's definitely going to be a bad guy. The way he's going is the serum has made him go insane, and he's just fixated on wanting to be Captain America. That's just all he cares about. He's just like, I'm Captain America. Oh, I am Captain America. I'm Captain America. That's the extent of his character now. And I like it, it works. But also, I want him to become US agent already. It's like, that's obviously where they're going. That either he's going to be US agent or he's going to die at the end of the show. And I hope they don't kill him off, because he'd be a really cool character to get, kind of redeemed-ish Because the thing is with US Agent is he's always a bit of a dick, but he does get redeemed. He doesn't become a villain, he becomes a hero, but a hero that is, you know, an asshole. So yeah, there's that aspect that I really like. I really like what they're doing with John Walker now. And I don't like the character, but I like the way that they're building that character. I like the relationship between Sam and Bucky. That's still really good. And the fight itself is a really cool fight. Even though they have the fight at the start of the episode, then the rest of the episode is basically just talking. And it's good, it's engaging, it's fun. And the talk between Sam and Isaiah Bradley is really, you know, engaging to watch. And it's really cool seeing someone who hasn't got powers, who's just been given the shield and has basically been shown the best that America is in being with Steve Rogers, and then this person that's basically had to live as a dead man for 50 years because, you know, America wouldn't have him be a superpowered human because of the colour of his skin. That was a really interesting back and forth. I would have liked a bit more of Winter Soldier in this episode. We kind of have him talk to Zemo, and then he gives Zemo off to the Wakandans. I don't know if we're going to get any more of that, because there was a tease from one of the writers that this episode was going to have a character in it that would be interesting. I believe the way it was written was, this is a character we'd like to see team up with Thor, and whatever that means. And I was thinking they were going to have, you know, maybe, well, the way that it's been set up with Chadwick, with the Dora Milaje showing up and everything, I thought we were going to get Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, having his final MCU appearance. Well, yeah, it's not, because he's going to be in the What If show. But his final, like, on-screen MCU appearance, that doesn't happen. There is no character unless they were pointing to Isaiah Bradley, but he's already been in the show before, so I don't, maybe because we get more of him this episode, or maybe it's whoever Sharon was talking to on the phone, but they're not shown. I assumed what they meant was they were going to have a character show up in this episode, unless it was a mishearing and they said episode 6 instead of episode 5, but they actually wrote episode 5. I don't know, a little disappointing, but also, as we've learned from WandaVision, we need to take everything that's said about the show with a grain of salt. That being said, this was still a good episode. It's just this is the slowest one so far, and there's the least amount to talk about. Falcon gets new wings, which we don't see, but they're made of vibranium because they were made in Wakanda. So it's going to be cool to see what his suit is going to look like in the next episode. I'm really excited, and I really want to see where the show is going to go, because this feels like an ending, almost. It feels like, you know, leading into the next season. And I guess because this is the mid-season kind of, not finale, because we're still going to get another episode next week, but this is the mid-season episode, so it's going to feel like that. But they didn't have anything like that in WandaVision, where they had, like, this is clearly the end of part 1, and we're moving on to a part 2. This is the rest episode. And with that, it may have been that the first few episodes were more laid back, or were less important as the rest of the show. Like, the rest of the show was just bam, this happens, this happens, this happens. Everything's crazy. And it feels like with this show, it's been crazy, 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 bit of time to wind down. And then we're going to have the crazy stuff go on even further. And we might get a surprise character show up within the next 5 episodes. Because episode 5, mid-season, there's going to be 10 episodes of this. That's just maths. That's just maths. If there are like 9 episodes and they're calling episode 5 the mid-season, that's just mathematically incorrect. So it kind of has to go for 10 episodes. But there might be a new character show up within those next few episodes. And I guess the one thing to speculate now is who is Sharon talking to on the phone. And here's my kind of predictions. First prediction, General Thunderbolt Ross. You know, it would be awesome to show up in this show? Red Hulk. Red Hulk needs to be in this. I think that would be cool. I don't know. Because Red Hulk's not going to be in a movie. No. Also in the most recent Captain America run, Red Hulk showed up in that. General Ross has ties to Captain America and that universe. And also, you know, why not do something that will lead... There's obvious leading towards Thunderbolts. And General Thunderbolt Ross. You know, it makes so much sense. Apologies, the video just cut out, ran out of storage space, had to sort that out, so I am back. Where was I? Yeah, General Thunderbolt Ross. The only thing that makes Thunderbolt Ross not viable is Sharon's been away from America for a while, so why would she be talking to a US general, or an army general for that matter? Maybe because Captain America just murdered someone in public, so he literally just performed a public execution on someone. That may make General Ross, you know, go to like more extreme lengths, or be like, yo, the guy who is trying to impersonate your ex-boyfriend, or your boyfriend who, you know, who is kind of your uncle, kind of, which is always a weird situation when you put it up that way. But, you know, the guy who is impersonating your ex-boyfriend who's now dead, he's just performed a public execution, maybe you should get involved. And then she's like, yeah, but I'm safe here. I've got some stuff that will give you the ability to get involved. So she will, if she is the power broker, which a lot of people seem to think she is, she may give Ross a faulty batch that turns him into the Red Hulk. That is kind of my fanboy thing. I just want to see Red Hulk in something. Can I not just get that? The other thing is, she could be talking to Chadwick Boseman. She could be talking to Black Panther. I very much doubt that. Why would she be addressing a member of royalty, the king of Wakanda, as if he's an assassin? And Sharon and Black Panther have never met. And yeah, or, and this is a really out of the box one, Crossbones. I don't think Crossbones is dead. I think Crossbones could be showing up in this. If not Crossbones, Sin. Oh boy. They could introduce Sin, the daughter of the Red Skull, in this. I just think that would be interesting. Get more Captain America characters into the MCU because they can't do any more Captain America films. So this could be a good melting pot for, or just like to throw in as many Captain America characters as you can in one show. You've already got Zemo, you've already got Sharon, you've already got Falcon and Winter Soldier, you've already got all those characters, you've already got Batroc the Leaper, for fuck's sake. Why not have her talk to a revived Crossbones or Sin, the daughter of the Red Skull? Mainly because those are the only Captain America characters that are coming to my head. She could be talking to Nomad. I very much doubt she's talking to Nomad. Nomad being the son of Steve Rogers. It could be very likely that Captain America and that Steve and Peggy had a little boom boom, had a child, and that child is now Nomad. That, and kind of got the powers of Captain America as well. I only say that because he's a prevalent character, or not prevalent, but he's in the storyline where Sam actually becomes Captain America, or like his first kind of arc as Captain America. So that could like link a few things. I very much doubt it's that, because the actual storyline is weird, and it would be weird to do that, especially since Sharon basically made out with her uncle, but her uncle was like the same age as her, and that was... It's weird whenever you talk about MCU Captain America, because you always have to question that part of it. But it's like, that could possibly be it, but it sounds like she's talking to an assassin type character. So maybe Hawkeye, maybe something could happen in this that could lead to the Hawkeye show. Maybe Hawkeye is still Ronin at this point, and he's taking odd jobs in Madripoor. Maybe he's just in Madripoor, dealing with Madripoor things. And Sharon's like, I'm going to call Hawkeye. I'm going to call Clint Barton. And, something can happen in this, and they can set up Kate Bishop, and they can go over to the Hawkeye show after that. I don't know if they're going to do that, because there was nothing in WandaVision that set up this. But they could set up something to happen over there with something that's happening in this. That's the only thing, and I think that's the most viable option out of everything. I don't think it's T'Challa. I don't think it's General Ross. I want it to be General Ross. That's the one that I want the most, because I want Red Hulk at some point. I don't think it's gonna be the son of Steve Rogers, Nomad. I don't think it's going to be him. Crossbones, I don't think they care enough to, bring him back. But then again, they brought back Batroc, and they were in the same movie, so they could. They were both in the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's in this as well, so a bit of connection. I feel like Charlie Day, in that one image where he's got like the pinboard with all the red lines. I feel like I'm that guy, but yeah, that's exactly what you got to do with these kind of shows, because that's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it fun. That's what they want. They want to make discussion. Maybe she was on the phone to that character that talks to John Walker after he basically gets essentially court-martialed. He doesn't get court-martialed, but he gets a dishonourable discharge, which, all the disses just thrown at him. But yeah, maybe it's her that she's talking to. Maybe that character is the power broker, because she does talk about the serum, and she says that taking the serum was the best, or the second best decision that he'd ever made. So that could be the Power Broker, but I don't like the idea of the Power Broker being a new character. I don't mind it, because, you know, Justin Hammer's going to be in Armor Wars, and he's definitely not the Power Broker. So, you know, we're getting Justin Hammer to do a thing somewhere else in another show that I'm also very excited for. But yeah, I really... There's a lot to talk about with this, and there's also very little to talk about, because what actually happens in the episode is we get a montage of Sam and Bucky building a boat, and we get a montage of Sam training to be the next Captain America, and we get him looking at wings that we don't see and going, oh boy, I'm excited about this. And that's all this episode really was, but there's little things in there that could lead to cool stuff that's happening down the road. And, you know, this show needs the badass moments that WandaVision had. WandaVision had the whole world talking. So, you know, there's got to be little niggles in these kind of slower episodes that are going to be like, that's interesting. Who's Sharon talking to? Who's this? Who's that? What's going on? Is Isaiah Bradley going to be a bigger character? Probably not. But he could be. That is Isaiah Bradley's son or grandson going to end up being Patriot? Is the character that's talking to Sam a lot? Is he going to be the next Falcon? Because he does in the comics. That's the kind of thing that I love about shows like this, and that's why I love the MCU, man. That's just why I love the MCU, man. There's so much discussion about it. I'm sorry that this has ended up being 20 minutes. It's just, this is the slowest episode by far, so I had to make the longest video so far. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought about this episode, who you think Sharon was talking to on the phone, and also what else do you think is going to happen in the series, in the show, and do you think John Walker is going to stay alive and become US agent at the end of the show, or do you think he's going to die in the show, or do you think they're just going to get rid of the character? I hope he stays as US agent. What do you guys think? Anyways, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Twitch. I stream every day at around 9 PM. Sometimes it's at 9:05, sometimes it's 8:55, but you know, it's around 9 PM. I'll see you guys in the next video.